Aloha. Today I wanted to make a quick video about some of the other versions of NASA that are out there. Some of the other, in my eyes, are actually more important than the existence of NASA and the magic that NASA has perpetrated on the entire Earthbound population. And what's going on behind the scenes of just the the obvious versions of, well, the planet is not a globe, so who are the main people that kind of perpetrated that lie? And you can say, oh, okay, well, it's NASA and the politicians, the science community and everything. But knowing that the flat earth is well known by the government and it's being utilized as a next step agenda of some sort when they have a flat earth map on the United Nations flag, knowing that it's been released by B.O.B. and Tila Tequila and Neil deGrasse Tyson going out there, the whole saying of any what was it, like, any news is good news, or not any news is good news, but publicity or whatever, even if it's bad publicity, it's good publicity. So that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson was doing when he went out there and so-called defended the globe theory. Is they're setting up this agenda, this plan for whatever the next step is. So if we just face it like checkers, like one move for one move, like NASA would be like checkers. If we take down NASA, then, which is already happening just by observing what's going on, they're the fall guys. Science community is just like Trump is a fall guy, or whoever they're chosen to be a fall person. They always create a villain or some kind of antagonist in order to bring in the hero. So they haven't had any heroes for so long. Like Bush was the antagonist to bring in Obama. And this is about stealing time and time stealers, because they steal your time with lies and basically just excuse me, this subtle magic. It's a magic that steals your time. And when you have conscious divine beings who are subjecting themselves to time stealing magic, then you can harvest that energy in the ethers, in a sense. So that's basically what's going on right now, and on it's manifesting onto the physical plane. See, it starts first in the ethers when we lose our dreams and we give our dreams away to a false reality. Like when people dream about going to work, that's fucked up. Like when people dream about falling off of buildings. If, like, do you think Native Americans, before Christopher Columbus came over here, were dreaming about falling off of buildings? No. So this is dream stealing, time stealing, magic installation. It's a global hypnosis, and it falls into every single aspect of our reality. And stuff like these scientists out there to create this kind of like magic show of distraction when they mix in they play with your frequency. So this is like Science Channel, and this is Discovery News. So this is, see how they got that globe right there, that's on every channel on television. They have this subtle program on the weather. The weatherman has it. That's why the news plays the weather all the time, makes a big deal out of it. The news is just an extension to get you more and more vested into thinking this is your reality. So the online community, which is just, it's a frequency playing. So they mix in like stuff like, can dogs smell cancer, with black hole talks, or galactic walls of the universe, or where do babies come from, or why do dogs and cats eat grass. It goes up and down, from Earth to the stars, from Earth to NASA, from Earth to wherever it is, like Star Trek, warp drives, penguins, cheetahs, black holes, Einstein, Obama, whales, communication, and armpit hair. Like it's up and down, in your life, out of your life, in your life, out of your life. And this stuff is so ingrained in your reality that they have multiple channels to sell you these versions of these realities. So they go from how do vending machines detect fake coins to painting an asteroid to save the planet. How do high altitudes affect your body? And could we move to Earth 2.0? Like, these agendas get sold to you. So meanwhile, every time we're voting for another president or whoever, or going deeper into the university system, we are actually the intent behind that is to program you to follow an agenda. And stuff like the History Channel is basically just like an extension of the public education system history program. For example, the black and brown peoples of the United States, our so-called history, according to the History Channel, starts with roots and slavery, because they have to tell you that we give you this history, we brought you here. It's like, no, we were here and around the entire earth plane before any of the Christopher Columbus movement was going on. Like, the black and brown peoples have already went all over this place and have established themselves there. So history does not start with you. Our power does not come from the European version of history. That version of illusion starts in they have to create this facade of power and control, and talk only about British royalty and the conquerors and like Napoleon and all this stuff. Everything starts only 500 years ago, and that's what this whole system is about, is to get you caught up in a version of reality that like in like Super Mario Brothers, they beat like level 1 and then stopped there and said, oh, that's the end of the game, we won, everybody wants to play. You play Super Mario Brothers, only the first level, and then when you win, then we'll give you a trophy, and then that's it. And we're like, wait a second, you didn't win though, you didn't beat anything, you didn't do the game, you just said that you won and convinced us that Super Mario Brothers level 1 is the whole world and the whole existence. That's not the whole existence. It's more to this. Like, who created this system? What is this system? What are these what does this stuff mean? And we ask why, instead of just getting caught up in the bombardment of the hows of a level 1 observation of our reality. And that's how everything gets complicated by these zoomed in versions, these scientific quotients and these calculations. They make everything so like complicated with these big number of people like Einstein. They get in your face and tell you like, oh, it's about this calculation, so you don't even have any willpower or time in your lives to investigate what, like, do your homework, like do your actual soul homework. Like, since we get so caught up in hating research and understanding ourselves when it's not really that complicated, we get caught up in these versions of complication because Einstein has all these theories and all this other stuff. Then we don't even want to do our own homework and we don't even want to help our kids do their own homework. We just want other people to tell us who and what we are. When we stop asking why, we have our dreams stolen from us, because we give them away to these agenda pushers and these controllers who have created not just the monetary system, not just the university system, and not just the military industrial complex and the prison industrial complex, but the further program that I wanted to explain in this video is like the subtle versions of our reality that are actually, in my perspective, more important to um, realize and address, because this is more within our reality. Like, it's in our face. Like for Disney Channel right here, it's got 724,000. This is just one of Disney Channel. They set up these programs, and here these like for example, Disney sells you the whole science when they got like that movie, Hero 6 or whatever that movie is, Wally, all these agenda shows. They show you like, oh yeah, this is what's going on, and try to make you believe that people are in the good part of it, like they're good within the system, like telling you stuff. It's not. It's still a distraction. All this stuff is just garbage. It's just racist programming, supremacy programming, artificial reality, ego-driven programming, and our kids are just eating it up. And since we have our emotional strings played by like Pixar and Disney movies, and then we think it's okay, like it's innocent. It's not innocent. It's the most self-destructive and collectively destructive things that you can imagine. Like it's really, really bad, and these agendas get pushed through these versions of television shows. And the History Channel tells you, the History Channel's got your past. It limits your past, steals your time, steals your willpower from not having any roots. Discovery Channel's got your kids and your future. So just that's why NASA promotes stuff for the kids, with like Star Wars and Star Trek and all that stuff. Discovery News takes care of the adults and the people who are in college who are trying to like understand what's going on and all this other stuff. And it's all the hypnosis. This is you are getting sleepy sort of thing. Yeah, you've been asleep because your great grandparents and your grandparents and your parents have been asleep for so long, believing in these people for the last 500 years. Who have locked you into a scientific hypnosis state, and have had you worshiping these scientific and political magicians. And I wanted to share this example. This is a video I saw the other day. It's a perfect example of how they play everything, something as innocent as a video on the science show. This has SciShow. I'll go on there and, well, I don't need to. It's just going to be another example. SciShow explores the unexpected 4 times a week. Hank Green and Michael into the scientific subjects that defy our expectations and make us whatever. So this got 3.2 million subscribers to this show. Same as Discovery News and the Science Channel. But this popped up as a trending video, and these trending on my YouTube the other day, and I watched it thinking I was just gonna watch some avocado stuff, and then because I like avocados. But you can see in this program how much other program conditioning bullshit that they put in your face is just ridiculous when you see like some of the stuff that I talk about here on this channel about like dinosaurs and evolution and all this, like ridiculous conditioning that gets put out there. And then I'm thinking, oh, finally I'll take a break. I'll just watch something about avocados. I also knew that there was going to be some bullshit in here too at the same time, but I didn't know it was going to be this bad. So here it is.
People seem to love avocados. In fact, people in the United States munch through.
And watch how they slide in all this other stuff, just like the up and down of all the other programs. Yeah, remember what I was telling you, like these up and downs. They tell you about Jesus, and then desserts, and then the moon, and then planets, and then airplanes, and then your grandparents, and then astronauts, and then it's like up and down, up and down. You just get caught up in the middle of not knowing or lost or whatever it is. But this is a video version of that.
Had a special relationship with huge
Condition you. Watch. Already going.
When these animals went extinct, avocados could easily have
so they pick these videos,
luckily for us, they were saved by some
or these
farmers.
perspectives.
The word avocado comes from the Aztecs, specifically the Nahuatl word.
So they pick these perspectives in order to sell an agenda. That is the intent with these videos to begin with. The intent behind these videos is not to tell you where avocados came from and why they're here and all this other shit. The intent is to get you to believe in what they're getting ready to tell you about evolution and dinosaurs and all this other shit. And they mix in like observable stuff that's relating to you, like talking about the Aztecs and the Nahuatl language and expressions of this, and then they hit you with the right, like the Kansas City Shuffle is like hit you with the left or fake you out with the left and then hit you with the right of a deeper program.
Avocado, which means testicle. I mean, you can kind of see where they got the name. It probably has something to do with the shape and texture.
Like play with your emotions, like funny, sexual program, food, history, culture.
But nutritionally, they're very different from other fruits you'd find in the supermarket. Fruits like apples and oranges are composed mostly of water and sugar. And in general, fruit is probably better for you than, say, a bag of sweets or a sugary drink because it contains fiber, which slows down the sugar absorption and makes you feel fuller faster. By comparison, avocados have much less sugar, but more protein and fat. That gives them that smooth, creamy texture, but it also puts them on the calorific side, for a fruit anyway. They also contain high levels of potassium and folate nutrients, as well as vitamin C, E, and K.
Even the way he's talking really fast, it just gets into your head. You just believe it. All this stuff that he's talking about, it's just all it's a program. It's a magic spell. Hypnosis.
Tens of thousands of years ago, during the
There it is.
a menagerie of megafauna, or giant animals, roamed the Americas. While woolly mammoths chilled out in the north, ground sloths weighing 3 tons and armadillos the size of cars lived in the warm equatorial forests. These giant sloths and armadillos
This was the intent of this video. First, they didn't give a shit about avocados. They want to tell you about evolution and dinosaurs. This is to convince you came from monkeys.
Plus, the seeds got some nice warm fertilizer to give them a nutritious boost. And with these megafauna around to eat the fruit, avocado trees can keep growing berries with increasingly massive seeds.
On here to get you to
more nutrients could be stored inside as a starter kit for the baby tree. This is especially useful in dense tropical forests where canopies of older trees block out much of the light for the saplings below. So instead of depending entirely on sunlight,
really fast,
avocado seedlings could
just to get you
photosynthesis with the nutrients in their seed to survive. This happy evolutionary match didn't last.
Happy evolutionary match.
Extinction around 10 to 13,000 years ago. We don't know exactly why, but scientists think the warming climate at the end of the last ice age.
Global warming, there it is. I forgot about that. I haven't watched this video. This is the second time I watched it. So they get you with the globe theory when they talk about global warming. So and they get you with climate change and that whole thing. Like, this is all in this one video about avocados.
Suspiciously close to the time humans began spreading across the Americas.
There it is. They hit everything in this video.
This meant avocados were in trouble. Without their large-gutted evolutionary partners, the trees stopped thriving.
Evolutionary partners.
The seeds mostly just became food for mold. But more hungry creatures were nearby. The new human arrivals loved avocados fresh as much as the ground sloths did. They also had the tools to eat them and the brains to figure out how to grow them. Avocados were all set for domestication. The avocados.
So the ground sauce, the giant ground sauce he's talking about, came from, or their time frame he's referring to, but he hasn't said it. Is like the La Brea tar pits time frame, the saber-tooth tiger, woolly mammoth stuff. So that's just like these Neanderthal evolutionary humans that lead back into monkeys. They won't say it, but they allude to it, so you can just like fill in the blanks with your subconscious yourself. But
we today are probably a little different than the ones that grew tens of thousands of years ago. For example, thanks to artificial selection, they probably have more pulp than their ancestors.
artificial
But they've kept their huge
selection.
seeds ready and waiting for the guts of long-dead beasts. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow, brought to you by our patrons on Patreon. If you want to help support this show, just go to patreon.com/SciShow, and don't forget to go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.
They'll even get you with the commercial.
Extinction really isn't the biggest mass extinction on the books. About 250 million years ago, the Permian extinction wiped out 96% of all species on Earth,
There
an
it
event
is.
known as the Great Dying. But it's so cool.
So they that's a perfect example of what kind of global hypnosis is going on here, and to not limit ourselves to just like talking about NASA and the politicians with everybody knows like they're choosing a lesser of two evils, even if they choose really believe in like a Bernie Sanders and all that stuff, and even if you choosing that, people are knowing at their heart that there could be something better. Like what's going on with the Native Americans and what happened here. Like as long as there's starvation on the other side of the planet and nobody's addressing the injustices that are just in our everyday reality, people are knowing in their hearts that this stuff is jacked up. And right now, since all these systems are imploding, and people are starting to realize this stuff on a conscious scale too, not just on their researching or whatever, but consciously it's starting to come out into the open, and people are realizing that this stuff is all a big ass joke, a big sham, a bloody joke, and a global hypnosis. And we're starting to unravel it, but my main point is that like let's not just get caught up in the checker game and fall subject to the chess game, and then not even really address at all the pillars that are holding up both of this chess game and the checker game, with the purpose of our existence and the questioning the whys of our existence, and why this stuff is happening, how and why all this stuff is going on, and how and why it has to be so vast. And then we'll start going into the true power that we inhabit and that we exist in and as when we're creating our reality. Because if there has to be a lie that's this big, as far as like NASA and politicians and the fiat currency and the university system and all the death and destruction that is throughout the world, then there must be some kind of universal power within our conscious engagement in our reality that we're not paying attention to or aware of. And the they, whatever the they is, knows that if we do get engaged in that space, then we'll be some highly activated beings that are really engaging in time and space and creation, and have a purpose that is well beyond the first level of Super Mario Brothers and all this nonsense. So I'll leave it there, and thank you for joining me. Until next time, peace, love, and harmony.